Carriacou and Pini Martinique. And those of you in the diaspora, we welcome you to the broadcast, as well as the broadcast entity streaming us live. That will be MTV, on air and online, Partygrenada, 10-hour communications, Mikey Live. Those of you viewing there, welcome to you. And of course, the sister Isle, Carriacou. Those of you in Carriacou and Pini Martinique, good morning. And it is a pleasure to say good morning to our special talk panel, excellent talk panel, I might add, of Senator Christopher Bialy and Mr. Byron Campbell. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we this morning?
We are good. Morning to our viewers and, of course, our listeners. I always say, Brenda, I think I live in the best place in the world. So I think when I get up every morning, I look outside.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Happy where I'm staying.
Yes, yes.
I have good weather 365 days a year, except for when hurricane season about. I'm away, but I mean, all for now. Byron, we're getting a lot of rain still in this, but supposedly dry season.
Yes, I think morning all. It's March 13th, March 14th.
It's March 14th. March 13th was yesterday.
We're going to talk about that, but yes, Chris. Good morning all. Grenada is the best place to be, Chris. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm convinced of that. I was in Progress Park earlier this week. We had some training there with 4-Hers, young agriculturists.
Right.
And on my way down, you know, I was observing, it was a very overcast day, midst and looking at the mountains. I stopped by the rivers and just an amazing place we live in, Chris,
Yeah,
you
man,
know.
yeah.
And then on my way down, I was meeting the school children coming out of school, and I just stopped the car and just
Took
paused
it in,
and take
yeah.
it in. You know, it's just,
Nice.
we're in the best place, Chris.
Yeah.
And
It's
I mean,
nice when we could
fact.
pause and actually take it
Seriously,
in.
I stopped the car.
Yeah.
I said, no, Byron, hold up.
It's all right,
I tell you,
Grenada. Not a thing out of
I mean,
place.
just interfered, you know. I
It's only
started
ourselves be out of place.
my hydroponics project this weekend.
Yeah.
I fired it up. So over the next few weeks, I'll be watching to see how things progress. And
Your hydroponics project?
yes,
Wonderful.
that's my little baby.
Yeah.
You know, as I get ready to transition. that's
So you
my little
birthed the baby and
yeah, it's
as you get ready to transition to what?
to another form of work.
Oh. That's great. Preparing to do that. Because I think that's part of the thing where just abruptly, you know,
Yeah.
it's always good too. So that's fantastic.
Also on the weekend, Chris, I was in Guelph. You know, there's a sailing school in Guelph where I mean, this Canadian guy, he's invested there, gratis, to train the kids there in sailing using lasers and these small 8 feet sailing craft. And I was there, I went sailing with the guys. A lot of excitement there, a lot of interest there.
See
and,
where the tan come out?
Yes, I find he looked
you know,
very sun-kissed this morning. Yes.
So Guelph, you know, great place to be. Yeah, St. John's.
Yeah,
on the
man.
weekend,
Yeah, I think that's good. I suppose the attraction for youths is going to be something to keep
Yeah,
them.
I think so. So
out
that's
of-
Sailing and
also-
yachting,
That's a
and
good
so
thing.
It's a big industry.
Yeah.
I think more of our people need to.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
yeah,
And the youths,
really
they're very
suck
skillful
in the
too, you know.
justice
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good. I
yeah.
mean, you know, as we go into the thing, and I was watching this altercation of this young man
Yeah.
over the weekend that went viral, and
Yes.
with the police and so forth, and and they have laid 5 charges against this
Yeah.
16-year-old
Yeah.
young man.
Yeah.
But the deeper thing to me in that issue was the lack of respect of the youth of people in authority.
Yeah.
This is a policeman in uniform, and
Yeah.
there's absolutely, when you watch the
Yeah.
video, to me, there was absolutely no form of respect bestowed to this person in authority. And the young man was getting on, and you know, eventually now he's going to be penalized on $6,000 bail or whatever it is, and you know,
His future.
his future is going to be in serious jeopardy here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't care about whatever.
Yeah. I'm hopeful that he can be rehabilitated, you know,
Yeah,
like
he
the
it seems
counseling.
that he
and
is already.
we should not give
he-
up on this young
he
person.
is already in counseling,
Yeah.
and one of the things, and I'm kind of being encouraged by some of what
Yeah.
I'm seeing and hearing,
Yeah.
is that I think our focus on deviant youths or
Yeah.
youth who behave that way and cry out for
Yeah.
trouble is that the consequential, it should be more
Yeah.
remedial and transformative
Absolutely.
as opposed to
Yeah.
punitive.
Yeah.
So already I'm hearing behind the scenes that the young man is in
Kudos.
counseling with a Grenadian professional who lives in the U.S. as
Excellent.
well as officials here in Grenada, and that the Commissioner of Police came out last week, and it was one of the best press conferences any commissioner of police or any official in security has ever had, in that his whole tone was, he almost sounded like the father of the nation.
Yeah.
Start, just, how, to care for your
Yeah.
children. The village needs to look out some more. And why, he thinks that, seeing all these snippets, bits and bobs, all over deviant behavior is probably a cry for help.
Yeah.
And why we all need to do better. And, they're not isolated. Everybody is calling and, if it's my child, if it's this child, if it's that child. And we get that. But the broader issue, and I think the elephant in the room, is just us as a society and how we behave as it relates to authority figures. I mean, I spent 7.5 years in the media, and people were always in contempt of the police, of the judge, of the whoever, everybody who came out to say something. We always had to find an anti to it. Like, last year, the last 2 years, we had the lockdown. We went ahead and we had our own carnival. The state said no carnival. While we were doing it, we were cussing police. We had children in the jab ban while we cussed the police in front of the children. We went on, even last week when the Spice Mass was launched, and the chairman said, well, we're planning Spice Mass and we're planning in a pandemic. So here's our plan A. And in our plan A, because it's a pandemic and restrictions, here's how we foresee Monday. So Monday we'll have Juve in every parish.
Yeah.
But on Tuesday, we'll start pretty mass early. So we're asking this year, we have no Juve. People on radio, DJs, announcers, what do Ali Gailey mad? Who could stop with Juve? All over Facebook. These are the things.
Yeah.
So who are we after we, the adults, behave like that? To stand up and call up the radio station, them children, and in my time, hello? You look in the mirror.
Yeah.
We are the ones.
Yeah.
So that is why I was so heartened and impressed by Commissioner Martin's press conference, and just how he talked about how the police would be, viewing all of it. It's really sad. We have to stop
and
it.
asking for the engagement
We
of the
have to
community.
stop it. We
I
all
thought-
have to be
yeah.
engaged
Yeah.
differently.
Brenda, excellent point. I think
Yeah.
you hit it on nail on the head. I mean, the family support and all of that seem to not be there anymore. And that is so true that it starts with us, the adults, when we get on in this way. The children is watching and they're seeing and they're mimicking, of course, what we're doing and showing very little respect for persons in authority and so on. So it's an excellent point.
Yeah. Well, I know you all are itching and excited and pumped for the politics, so here we go.
Are we talking politics this morning?
Yeah, but Brenda did promise
That
we're going to
this
talk
week-
politics.
I thought we leave it for later in the program, but she wants to bring it up front.
Let's go, Byron, let's go.
What happened on the weekend? I observed that NDC was in Carriacou in large numbers. It appeared from the
Yes,
photographs
they
I saw.
opened an office there.
Office there, which is a good thing, and the NNP had its celebrations. Was it March? No, it wasn't celebrating the revolution. It was celebrating the 4-year anniversary
Yeah,
of
the
the
last
victory in 2018.
election was March
Yeah.
13th.
Yeah.
And because for celebration, I don't know, but in terms of any numbers coming out, in terms of any poll numbers, any indicators?
Well,
of
we
the
haven't
election?
seen anything. I mean, I still am of the view that I think both parties still have to name some caretakers for some constituencies. And they see more so because they only named 7. They still have
they
8
have
more to
8.
go. And you're hearing a lot of things about potential people and so on. But I think NNP still have the one to Anthony Boson's constituency. I think is, I don't know, St. Patrick's Northwest.
There's a caretaker and there's a Mr. Phillips.
Senator? Is it Senator, right?
Senator Philip is a
Yeah.
caretaker, was
Right.
officially announced.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He,
So that,
he was officially announced as a caretaker since last year.
okay,
Okay.
I wasn't aware.
He was before
Okay.
Nimrod, he was before Cox was announced.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
very
yeah.
good. So well, then that's my boo-boo.
It's closed up.
Yeah, so it's closed
done,
up. So
yeah.
and NNP probably have their 15 already out there. I haven't heard about any
I
other
don't know,
change.
any number could play.
Yeah, any number could play.
The
So I
grand scheme of
suspect
politics.
Yeah.
there is that lag on the NDC side in terms of announcing their caretakers. Probably it will happen this week, I don't know. And so on. I was reading in the paper last week that the NDC party were getting a lot of blows for their PR campaign.
Okay.
And the strategy in which they were using, and they were being heavily criticized by one writer at least on that and so on. But that is it. I mean,
The writer maybe was listening to you last week, Monday.
I don't know.
But it seemed that
I believe that, but we've seen her ramping up now.
Yeah, clearly.
Seen
I
her
think
ramping
NDC
up.
is very visible on social media also.
yeah.
I mean, if you're there, you'll see a bit of that. So it's on, I would say, you know, and once the date's announced, then you'll really...
But it's 21 days notice that have to be given for the election date once the Prime Minister announces. But in my view, I think the advantage will be in the incumbent the quicker they announce the election date than later. Because from all pundits that you hear talk, it would appear, and I say that carefully, that the NNP machinery is better organized than the NDC machinery. And that is expected. They're an incumbent.
No, I mean, we have to be truthful about that.
You know, so
the NNP as an organization, even outside of political campaigns, is a strong organization.
yes.
And what you expect from strong organization is structure and organization and work. And they have the results to prove it.
Yeah.
They have the results to prove it. So going in, we have to say that in terms of organization and structure, and in terms of political work, you know, the fact that they never leave the ground, their people are always present. It is a 7-day, 24-hour, 5-year job. It's not a cycle.
But Brenda, do you
see?
think some people may say that the incumbent is complacent? They're not doing, you know, you're not seeing probably the level of excitement with their party versus the NDC party. Do you believe that's a valid observation?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think just as how we look at crowds, we have to look at it this way. The incumbent success could make people complacent. And remember, the incumbent is heading the government. They are managing us through a period of restriction. They are managing us staying in or out, right? How do you see excitement? What we used to, the rallies, the this, the that, right? The only place now you're seeing generation of voices really is on social media.
Yeah.
So that is the main place you judge. Only this past weekend, we see people coming out more and more.
That's right.
So the NDC went up to carriacou to open their office, and we saw their people move with them. And then the NNP, in their celebration of their 4-year, we saw, you know, their people celebrating in various constituencies. But we really have not had that sort of traditional form of campaigning where we could judge who's excited, who's complacent. As to the NDC's excitement, it's warranted. They have been beaten up for the last how many years? They have new leader, so the excitement is organic. It's organic. It may not necessarily be anything that's shifting. Yeah.
The other word.
Anyway,
My favorite O word.
Yeah. Orgasmic.
That's good for you guys. My mood this morning over is sports. Let me tell you guys, you can continue with your politics if you want. You know, I'm not in a political
Listen,
mood
I introduced the
this
politics for
morning,
you,
you know?
so hello. Excuse
yeah,
me, you're
like-
not. Hello, we're not going there.
You know,
You wanted the politics, let's do it.
Chris, yeah. My
What's
politics
that
is-
pulling out and pulling back business
You know,
about?
I'm thinking cricket, guys. You know, if
We
you're
will
a
get
cricket
there,
fan,
Mr. Garvey will be here soon.
No, not that cricket I'm talking about
okay.
at all. If you're a cricket fan, Chris, let me tell you that, and Brenda, and you're not following women's cricket, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
I've
this.
been following.
Women cricket now is the most exciting thing around. Forget about this test match and thing.
And
You
the
know,
West Indian
I've been
women
looking.
doing
Look,
very well.
I was looking at the
Well,
game.
you're very late to the party.
let me
Can we
tell
get
you.
back to the politics?
Let me tell you, Chris. I was looking at this cricket. I see this West Indies player. Her name is Dottin. She took a catch.
Deandra Dottin.
Deandra, she took a catch. It was amazing. You know, like, I mean, you have to see this. And then the technology now deployed in this cricket. There was an appeal for LBW, leg before wicket. You know, the appeal showed that caught behind, played the ball. It's amazing. But the women cricket is exciting, guys. If you
You're
ladies,
late. You're
if
late
you-
to the party.
I am, and but I'm there anyway. Chris is. It's a
Very
lot
late
of
to
fun.
the party.
I
main
have
cri-
been watching.
You have been watching?
I
Yeah,
have
women's
been
cricket is
impressed.
exciting.
It's
And not
amazing.
only West Indies, I mean, when you watch it,
Have
the
you
other
ever seen
teams,
our
the
Affy Fletcher
Pakistanis.
Bowl?
No, I'm not seeing.
You've
her
never
ball.
seen Affy Fletcher Bowl? You see
No,
what
well, I
I-
saw. So she played in the last game where they
Okay.
beat England,
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, super game.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
They have more strategy. They seem to have more passion. They're
Absolutely.
fighting to win. You want to see that in the men.
It's
You wanna
not
see
there.
that in a
It's
men's
not there.
team.
It's not
No,
there. It's
no.
not there. So I'm into women cricket now. Forget the men cricket for now, you know. Sorry.
Back to the
But-
politics.
No apology.
Yeah, so let's take the politics from a slightly different angle, Byron, and that is the war and what's happening with the war.
Yeah.
And you know, you see our CBI program announced that they have suspended applications from Russians and Belarusians. So, which is something that you're seeing all the programs do around the region. Of course, it just shows how far the tentacles of these sanctions can touch you.
Yes.
You understand? CBI is a big thing for Grenada, and I know the number of Russians in application have been there. I don't know what is the percentage of the total, but it's an important announcement because, I mean, Grenada can't afford any sanction on the program in any form.
Chris.
But that's the extent of reach of these sanctions in these
Chris,
areas.
It
But
seems
there's-
like it was a CARICOM decision, but of course, of those with the sovereignty of each nation, there are some territories that still have not gone the full Monty on the announcement. St. Lucia, for instance, they've chosen not to say anything.
Yeah.
And so I saw the opposition leader, Alan Chasney, he came out on Friday and he said, listen, St. Lucia, stop playing these games.
Yeah.
Follow your counterparts, say something about this. And it just goes to show, because now the tentacles of war, you know, how it goes out. And as I told you, when we get into the wrong and right of wars, we could get a little murky.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is the Russian people that are going to feel it the most.
That's right.
You know, not
That's
Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
The
We
Russian
spoke
people
about that
are
last
going to
week.
feel this. So all the Russians
Chris.
who want doing business in the Caribbean, who are legitimate, those who want to become citizens of the world and so on, now there's a squeeze, nothing
The
can happen.
CBI program globally is in problems now, Chris. You mentioned the fact that Grenada has now taken a position to suspend applications from the UK, but it's gone further. The US Congress now, there's draft legislation before that they're considering to ban, as it were, remove that means. But someone just sent me
That will never
a
happen.
news this morning. Says that last Wednesday a vote was taken by the European Parliament to ask the European Commission, which is linked to the Cabinet of Europe to formulate a strategy asking countries that offer CIP to phase them out or face visa restrictions. What I'm saying here is that both the United States and the European Union is saying essentially that countries that are pursuing CBI program, they're going after it essentially.
Yeah, and that may be so because you see what is happening internationally. The demand for CBI programs have increased significantly over the last 2 years, since the pandemic.
That's correct.
And these countries and them are worried about outflows of investments.
Yeah.
They're
happening
just
via
using that as
CBI.
an excuse
That's
to,
right.
that's
So,
what they're doing.
I mean, here it is again.
That's what
these
they're doing.
superpowers want to
Yeah.
use
They
the
don't get to
massa
tell
rule.
us what
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Control.
the massa rules
But-
philosophy and do that. So, but you see, you can't stop something that there is demand for. People
yeah.
up there, and especially
Yep.
high net worth
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So that's another issue that is facing them and how they deal with that. And you know, again, this is the thing about come to me begging for the rest of your life. And allowing you to get
It's just
independent.
a
just
sneaky way.
something-
I mean, they have suspended
Yeah.
their own programs.
Yeah.
And why I say it's not going to stop is
Yeah.
because they make a lot of money. One of the best run programs in the world is that of Israel
Yeah.
and the United States.
But it's just that
And
we have to
they make-
monitor it and look at it. You know,
Yeah,
what's
and,
happening
and,
regionally.
and,
on
and
this.
we, our CBI programs in this period, in this area, have been under scrutiny for many
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
by
We
these
have-
same people
Yeah, we
who
have
run
had-
amok with them, but
have
they
had our
they
little
look at us with
bumps
laser
bumps in the road,
eyes.
but those are things that we do. But Byron, I want to touch quickly on something in transportation.
Yeah.
And I know you might agree or disagree with me, but there's a transportation study that has been launched recently.
Yeah.
That has been
saw that
conducted now
last
in
week.
Grenada.
Yeah.
But when you watch that and when you link that to the derelict vehicles that they're picking up on the side of the road, something that is badly needed. But the bigger issue for me now is parking on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And all these vehicles that people own and,
Yeah.
making the road single lane traffic.
Yeah.
And how the police and the authorities are going to deal with that, to me, is going to be a significant, serious issue. Because here people are parking anywhere on the side of the road. I mean, I travel Mary and Monjalo route regularly, and
Right.
the amount of single lane traffic that is happening there. And we have a huge, there's 4 churches between the top of Monjalo to the end of Marian. And on a Sunday, when you're here, there's church, and the people with the vehicles park, you're in a serious dilemma. And there's a next huge church being built around the corner in Marian, a big corner there. and you're not seeing parking to facilitate the size of the church and probably the participants. And
Right.
I am always concerned that our public, PPU department are giving permission for these things and not having any care about where we're going to park.
Yeah,
So-
and we seem to be very, we seem to be all over the place with it, because if it's a house, it becomes an issue for them. If it's a church, we seem to be more.
Yeah, and
You
I'm not
know, we
understanding.
have to have
and that is
consistent-
something that,
So Chris, we have a problem. Here's the last numbers I picked up was 55,000 vehicles in Grenada Carriacou and PDMA. Doesn't mean that all on the road at one time, but that's the kind of general numbers we're
right.
looking at. So the policy of the government was to reduce the importation of used vehicles to 10 years and over. Trinidad and other countries are 5 years. I mean, what it does, because there's a lot of dumping taking place. I mean, in Japan, the US, wherever, used vehicles, particularly now as they move into electric vehicles,
by
you're going to see a
2025,
lot more. It's come cheap and it's going to become.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
question is, what's the policy, how we manage this situation going forward? We have a fixed amount of roads. Our roads, the volume of roads is not increasing. So basically, the more vehicles you bring in, they have to stack on the roads,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what creates traffic jam.
Taking
That's
2
the
hours
sense
to
of it,
get to
essentially.
Grandans
So
in
I've
traffic.
always articulated that, look, the same way, if I purchase a firearm, I need to tell the police where I'm going to keep it, how I'm going to keep it. If
Yeah.
you're going to buy a vehicle, you're going to need to tell the authorities where you're going to park it, and it must be off the road.
Yeah.
We have to begin somewhere, but I think a good move is to start by removing the derelict vehicles. I really support this policy. I
Yeah.
think it's a big deal, and I think
And how
that
they
is going
plan
to
to
help.
get rid
Exactly,
of
that's
it.
going to help.
Yeah.
But the bigger issue from a transport policy, generally vehicles, we need to look at that.
Well, it's
Um,
going to be interesting to see
yeah.
what the results and its recommendations from this study entails.
brings out. Yeah,
With
I
the
was
traffic
impressed-
congestion
I
as
was
well.
impressed that we had even gotten to that point.
yeah.
Well,
You
no,
know,
it's a big
because
thing.
normally we just saw bikey
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
impressed that we had gotten to that point,
Yeah.
and seeing that we have this partnership with the it's a CDB,
Yeah.
and I think it's Grenada and
Yeah.
St. Lucia.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in terms of the development and
Yeah.
the vehicles and so on, I
Yeah.
think we really need to look at our roads, our network of roads.
Yeah.
We can't do a lot with our
Yeah.
main thoroughfares. So what are the new things we could do?
Yeah.
Can we do flyovers? What can we do?
Yeah.
So we need to start looking in that
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
Transportation is a national
Yeah.
security issue.
It
And so
is.
the fact that we are tackling it, because Minister Cox said it best, it's a public good in the hands of private ownership.
Yeah.
And so when the private owners decide to do whatever, the public good, and the government has to take care
Yeah.
of the public good. So that has to be fixed. Because when you step out of the hotel at Grandans, the various hotels, and the staff bus takes you to Tantine, you need to get a bus to Grenville.
Yeah.
You need to get a bus to Cherry Hill.
Yeah.
You want to come down to Fantasia, you could, in 2022, you should be able to step out of your house and be able to afford a taxi or a bus. It
Yeah.
needs to be accessible.
Agreed, and-
So we
and that-
really need to be going in
And that
that
is linked back to
direction.
the economic
Yeah.
development in the country. The last thing I want to throw on the agenda, we may not talk about it, I know our time is
Yeah.
running out, is, we're getting ready in Grenada to consider legislation for unmarried cohabitants.
Yeah.
Unmarried cohabitants?
Yeah.
Well, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, well, I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's something that is long overdue and
Yeah.
something we need to pursue.
Yeah.
Here you have a gentleman who may have been married, wife and him, not divorced necessarily, but left and not living together for 20, 25 years. He has started another relationship with somebody, living together, cohabiting for more than 10 years. He passes away intestate, and the wife comes back and
Takes everything.
takes everything.
Yeah.
And it's one
Yeah.
of those things, and it's more than that as well. It gives the cohabitants living in those situations more rights to certain things and so
Yeah.
on. And I think that is legislation that is badly needed, and I
Yes,
fully in support
because
of it.
Senator De Ali, in some of these relationships, cohabitants also invest.
Yes,
and,
yes,
and
yes.
what they invest becomes part of the estate, which a wife or an estranged wife, husband, or children can come back and
yes,
so
and
so nobody so
And-
everybody leaves out that person.
Yeah,
You
and
see? And the law has to address
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, and I think it just
and most, Chris, I
gives the
strongly
rights.
support.
We celebrated International Women's
Was
Day
there
last week. I
because
just think this
it's,
is so
it's
right.
affected
Yeah.
it's affected negatively more women than male
All-
has,
all the time.
and children,
It
Yeah.
has.
and so it's a necessary legislation.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah, and I
necessary
think-
and
injustice.
then, and
in
then we
fact,
have
it
the
was.
couples who lived together
Yeah.
for 20 years, 17 years,
That's
never
right.
got
Never
married,
got married. That's
built
correct.
together, and then
There's nothing.
somebody dies or somebody goes, and then
children
somebody
comes
else
in.
just come in and
So
just,
it's
it has to be fair.
I just
So
think
that's
it's
a-
one
that's
of
a-
those things that
that's a-
needs correcting, and
that's
I'm
a
happy to see us
positive
going
thing.
there.
Yeah.
And
Progressive,
yeah,
very
yeah,
progressive.
yeah. And it's
Very
something that
progressive.
I think we need to ventilate, we need to talk
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
it gives our women a greater sense of security
Yeah.
in any form of relationship they
Absolutely.
have.
Gender equality, I think eventually it comes
And
down
then
to
men
it's-
too,
it's-
because
Yes.
now we're in a world where we having same-sex unions and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So partners generally.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
it's one of the progressive things.
So
that
something
I saw
positive
going
this week that I saw, the CDB, Caribbean Development Bank, had a large team in Grenada on a big mission. But one of the things, a meeting I attended was with NAWASA, and from the UK fund, UK aid actually, is putting in $17 million to upgrade the water system from Concord. We could talk about that another time, but I thought that was so interesting. It's a
Yeah.
grant.
That's
And it's really
excellent.
going to make a difference for businesses in the south, in particular the hotels
Well,
and others.
to me, the
in the
most
south.
important part of that grant is wastewater retreatment.
Yeah. Yeah.
That we're planning to
Yeah.
develop
Yes.
somewhere in the south, and how
Yes.
we
It's a big
treat
deal.
sewer. Instead of, we get a lot of blows for say we dumping it out to the
Yeah.
sea
Yeah.
and what we're doing, but that is going to, part of that project, I believe, addresses
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think
I was
that's a huge
impressed.
thing for us.
Before we move off NAWASA, I must say kudos to them for their app. The NAWASA app is the app.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah,
you
well-
other companies who have app, find out from NAWASA who developed their app. It's a Grenadian, yeah.
They were,
But the NAWASA app, it is so user-friendly.
Yeah.
It is so fantastic.
And,
You just can get everything you need from
Yeah.
it. And I think maybe utility companies, big companies that have huge accounts and so on,
Yeah.
who have apps. That
It's
is
user-friendly,
NAWASA,
yeah?
that is
I've
an
not
app.
seen it yet.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
I have the
brilliant.
Grenlec one, and I'm
Brilliant.
disappointed I don't have the Nawasa one yet. I don't know if that is my fault or my
No,
friends in
Nawasa
Nawasa
app
fault.
is the app.
That
Yeah.
nobody have come to me and said, Chris, here is the app, and what
To
you
borrow
go
from
to
Saddam Hussein,
Yeah.
it's the mother of all apps.
Yeah.
But that's positive. That's
No,
very
that's
good.
fantastic.
I mean, and that's the way to
Okay.
go. I mean, I think that's where I use a Grenlec one all the time, so
Yeah.
it's good to see. I must really get
I
down to
use
the
the
Nawasa.
Grenlec one. The Grenlec one, while good, the experience is not
It's
as
different. Okay.
exciting.
Well, I'm sending a message to Mr. Husband, so I'd like to get
Yes.
it, please.
So
Oh, you
maybe,
get it- it's
maybe
it's on
Grenlec,
Android.
maybe
Android.
Grenlec need to have a little
Yeah.
chat with Nawasa and
well.
see what. I think Nawasa and Grenlec share the same minister,
Yeah.
so they could
Yeah.
study. Anyway, folks, this morning, next Thursday, guess what? An exciting cricket. Yes, cricket, lovely cricket. The third and final of the West Indies versus England, the Apex Series. It's going to be on at our national stadium here in St. George's. And this morning, we're going to tell you all about that, logistics, planning, how you can get to this national stadium, and all of that. We take a break, and we'll be right back.
Never in my wildest dreams would I have anticipated an Olympic Games during a pandemic. As if preparations weren't tough enough, coronavirus became a new hurdle for me to overcome. And hurdling is not even my event. Nevertheless, I accepted my fate. There was so much to achieve and so many people counting on me. I had to do what I had to do. And one of those necessary steps was getting vaccinated. Not only to protect myself and my loved ones, but also because I was determined to secure another win for my country. Not even a pandemic would get in the way of that mission. I know my people well, and I know that the determination I possess is not a trait unique to just myself. It's in every Grenadian, the will to overcome and that desire to win. The fact of the matter is that if we as a people intend to come out of this pandemic victorious, we too must do what is necessary. We must follow the protocols, such as social distancing, wearing a mask properly. We must listen to the experts. We can make certain lifestyle changes to boost our health, like exercising regularly, eating the right foods. And also, we must strongly and absolutely consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19 and its variants. As someone who is vaccinated, I feel confident in being home, being able to participate and run again. And that's my dream, to see families running on the beaches again, to see children running on the playgrounds, shopkeepers running their businesses, bus drivers running the roads, and the love and happiness running through the heart and spirit of us all Grenadians. There's no one solution, but if we take the necessary steps, we will get back on our feet and we will get running again.
Get vaxxed. It's your best shot. Hello.
A message from the Ministry of Health.
Back to Perspectives. If you're just joining us, good morning to you. Next Thursday, that is Thursday the 24th March, exciting Test cricket comes to Grenada. The third Apex Test, West Indies versus England, that great rivalry. It's going to end here, and it's a decider, I believe.
Well, we sure it.
We are excited about that. All right, and with us this morning, it is a pleasure to introduce this Grenadian son of great repute and renown in the area of broadcasting. And of course, everything he touches turns to gold, putting a lot of pressure on him. It is a pleasure this morning to welcome the chairperson of the National Organizing Committee for this third test, West Indies versus England, the quintessential Mr. Troy Garvey. Good morning,
That's just
sir.
too much. Good morning. It's just too much. And,
Good morning, good
It's really a
morning.
pleasure being here this morning. And Brenda mentioned next week Thursday, and it kind of scared me because a short while ago was a few weeks away, and now it's just coming down to the crunch time. And what I can safely say that I think that we are ready. In terms of getting there, I think that we are ready. We're where we're supposed to be at this point in time, and we're just looking forward to 5 good days of cricket. And Chris mentioned the importance of the game. It is important because the first test match was drawn. So
Yes.
regardless of the outcome of the
Yeah.
second, the third
third
probably
is the
can
decider.
decide the
Okay.
series. So I think it's very, very important, and we are well placed, most importantly, not just game related, but I think what is most important for us is country related, to ensure that we deliver at the very highest level.
You mentioned the word deliver, so everything, all your check boxes, where are we with that?
We are ticking them off, bit by bit, one by one, and I can give you the assurance that around 10 o'clock in the morning on the 24th, as you look outside, the first ball will be bowled. There are a number of other things that we have to put in place to ensure that happens. But these events have a life of their own.
Right.
And they grow and they blossom and they unfold at the right time. And we have to position ourselves to ensure that all the elements, all the pieces are in place. From arrival at the international airport, to the experience at the stadium, to the experience after play. You know, these are things that we're all working on. So what the government has done was bring together all the major stakeholders to deliver. Because as I try to tell persons, this cricket is much more than just bat and ball and on the field of play.
Yeah.
This cricket is about Grenada. The investment here is Grenada. It's probably one of the biggest tourism tool that we have had in recent times. And we have to position ourselves to ensure that we do it right, that we deliver at the highest level, to ensure not only in the short term, but in the long term, we continue to benefit from the experience here.
You mentioned investment tool, and I just picked up on what you said. It just went off in my head. Spice Mass was launched, showcase, all of that. How does that dovetail into cricket, and what is cricket doing to highlight that?
The first time you will see different things happening, and it was sheer coincidental that we have not had Carnival for 2 years. We have been in limbo, not just Grenada, but the Caribbean. And last year, we took the bold step to get patrons back into the arenas in the Caribbean with the South African tour. The government insisted, we delivered on the protocols to ensure that we can do it. That was on the short term. The notice was very short because those games were for Trinidad. We delivered, and now we're coming back here. Now the timing with Spice Mass is just so perfect for us as a marketing tool, and we're going to capitalize on that. You will see it very, very vividly during that period of time with the in-stadium branding, with the activities which have been organized through the Tourism Authority and Spice Mass to ensure that there are cultural presentations, there are things of Grenada. The idea is to showcase the country. As I said, the bat and ball, the activities on the field of play is going to happen. The local organizing body is going to ensure that happens. We have done so since 2007 at the very highest level with Cricket World Cup. in terms of delivering those games. And we see no reason why that come the 24th, we would not be able to.
Senator Diallo.
Well, I know you say the first ball will go off at 10 o'clock, of course, weather permitting.
Weather permitting, these things, once it's, anything that's within, anything that is within our control,
Yeah,
weather
one of
permitting.
the things I think with this too, Troy, is that I have been monitoring the hotels and the occupancy for this game and what is happening. And I know you cannot get space in the hotels for that this week and into next week when cricket, because of the following of the English cricket team as well. And other people in the region coming who wanted to partake. And I know because I have colleagues who want to come up here to do work and so on. It's very, very difficult to get a room now in the hotels. Yeah. So, I mean, that is a spin-off, one of the spin-offs.
But I think to us, to Grenada, I believe that is the most important aspect of delivering these games. Most important. Bar none. If we're going to, the benchmark here is going to be on the field of play, I think we're along the wrong path. This is about a tourism event as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
In ensuring that we do what is right, we use the event to showcase the country. You have 5 days of coverage that is targeting specifically the UK market, and the cameras are on, and you cannot pay for that or buy that no place in the world. We would not be able to afford it. So we have to position ourselves to capitalize and exploit what is happening.
And
so
do you think that the government is going to ease the COVID restrictions of visitors coming in before the cricket? Because you're seeing it happening right now throughout the region. Different world countries are doing it.
Well, that is for the Ministry of Health.
That will add, I think.
That is for the Ministry of Health to do, and we are guided by their policies. But as we stand right now, persons are fully understanding that to come into the stadium, you must be fully vaccinated. That has been consistent at all 3 venues hosting the games. That has been consistent. With kids being able to be vaccinated, now you're saying that kids can also come to the game. So these are things that you are seeing things being tweaked here and there. But it's not just Grenada. It's what happened in Antigua, what's happening in Barbados, and what's going to happen here. So we have to be consistent.
Talking about tweaking though, I went to the national champ. I tried to get into the national champs on Saturday at the athletic stadium next door. And people were excited to come back out to athletics and so on. Children, everybody, vaccinated, unvaccinated, everybody. When I got to the gate, gentlemen, I got a little, I don't think I am ready for big crowds as yet. So I left the state, I left. You know, it was, and I looked on, Richie and so covered it, so I looked on from my telephone, and it was a great thing. If the government, I know CWC, they're dealing with the protocols, we're still in a pandemic, but this is just a happenstance. So if happenstance, there's an announcement that the COVID restrictions are lifted prior to next Thursday, do you think that would spark any sort of consideration by Cricket West Indies and our local government authorities here that other persons other than those vaccinated can purchase a ticket to enter the national stadium?
A very important question, and I'm not going to try to jump the gun. The protocol, the health responsibilities, all the protocols are dictated and governed by the Ministry of Health and the government of Grenada. And CWI will adhere to and abide with the protocols in existence of the day.
Okay,
so the ball falls in the lap of the Ministry of Health and the government of Grenada, both partners in delivering this event. So if something changes tomorrow or the day after, I'm sure that CWI and the planners on the ground will be able to respond. As we speak right now, to access a stadium, you have to purchase a ticket. And on entering, you have to present your certificate to show proof that you are fully vaccinated. That's a protocol in place as it stands right now. So we have 5 designated points of entrance to get into the seating bowl. There will be 5 teams from the Ministry of Health to ensure, yes, you can enter, you are fully vaccinated. So you'll have to take that minute or so to present your certificate or what your app, like I have mine on my phone, to ensure that you are vaccinated, that you can enter. But if the protocol changes, I'm sure that we will be in a position to respond accordingly.
Got you.
Troy, I have a 2-part question for you. in the 2022 budget, there was an announcent for major improvements to the stadium. What is the physical condition of the stadium? And secondly, there's another project, the River Road, the St. George River Road mitigation project that is happening right adjacent to the project. How are these two physical things happening at the same time? What are the implications? And second part of my question is that clearly the COVID protocol and restrictions are an issue. Would the match be broadcast on our local television?
Okay, first and foremost, the game will be carried on ESPN.
Okay.
The games will be on television on ESPN.
Okay.
To take the last part of the question first.
Okay.
You have asked a number of things, and step by step, let's respond to them. The stadium, the government has a signed agreement with the government of China to do major renovation work to this facility.
Yeah.
This facility was built in 2006 for the Cricket World Cup in 2007. And there are a number of elements that has to be responded to, and a number of things to be done. Because of the COVID impact, travel and these things could not happen. In recent months and weeks, there have been dialogue with Grenada and China, and that response for renovating and giving a general facelift for the facility will happen. It will not happen in time for the 24th of March, but that is on the medium to long-term plan. What we have done so far is look at all the areas that needs attention, that is specific to this event, and we have responded to them. And we are absolutely certain that where we are right now, one of the major concerns was the seating bowl. Lots of work have been done. You will see seats being removed, seats being replaced and repaired. So all these are things that have been done, and we're in a position set, ready to go. As it relates to the project on the outer walls, we had a lengthy meeting with the consultant and the contractors and all these persons, and we have a plan in place. Already you will see work being done, and starting, I think, from the 21st, they will suspend work in this area, use the resources to clean and ready the site for 24th to the 28th.
Okay.
So already we have started. You will see increased signage, you will see protection fences, a number of things will take place. What they will do, they will relocate their major activity higher up the area and not concentrate on this lower area here. So we are quite comfortable with that level of arrangement, and with the additional signage and the ushers and the security involved, we will be able to direct people away from. It impacts on the VIP operations to the southern end. So what we have done is identify other places of parking, so persons will have to drop and park and not park and stay in the area because there's really no space for it. But it will not, on a match day, impact in any way on activities in the stadium.
Okay.
To be quite comfortable with that.
My question to you, Troy, you know, cricket in the Caribbean, based on West Indies' performance, is not stellar. And the level of support for West Indian cricket has faltered and dropped off in recent times, especially for the male team, not the women's. Women are doing fantastic.
They're winning now.
They have
won before.
Yes, they're doing fantastic appears in every sphere of life. Anyway, that's another topic.
Exciting.
But my question is, with the one on following up from COVID, this is to do with ticket sales and the interest in cricket and West Indies cricket, and particularly Test match. You know, one days and T20s tend to get a greater response in support. How has that been based on the figures you're seeing? Is there any surge in ticket sales? What is that like, and the expectation of crowds for the
Okay, very important question. And we need to go back a bit. We were the best in the world. And when I say we, the West Indies. For a very long time, we were the best in the world. There was no team, no country better than the West Indies team. We had the likes of Clive Lloyd and Sir Vivian Richards and Richie Richardson and Holding and Roberts, and we can go on and on and on. Unfortunately, no, we don't. We are not considered among the best in the world. We have our performance is not as consistent as we like it to be. And with the changes around us, the advent of social media, of radio and TV, and how the movement of information is so distinctly different. I remember as a boy when West Indies plays in England, you have your transistor radio and listening to John Ollott and want to hear every ball. And it's different now. I can pick up my cell phone now and look at the score. And as it relates to this series, the outcome of the first test match was very important for us. The performance of the team West Indies was very important for us. We saw, although the pitch was flat, we saw a fighting team. We saw a team that pulled off a draw. We saw a team that batted well in the first innings, and we saw that grit, that fight. And if it continues throughout the series, I think that if there's a reason for have a decider here in Grenada, I'm sure that persons will come out. We will not see the numbers. I try to tell persons to manage your expectations. We are not going to see the numbers as a T20 or a one-day international, but I still believe that there are some die-hard cricket fans.
Oh, yes.
There are one gentleman called me last night, Troy, I want to ensure that I get a particular seat. I want to, so there are die-hard fans who would like to come and enjoy Test cricket because people see it as the ultimate form of the game, where you put the bat versus ball, brawn, consistency, all the elements must come together to deliver. And based on the outcome of the second test, I think that Grenadians, the cricket lovers, will come out. We are hoping and keeping our fingers crossed, as I said, most importantly. We see a great response from the touring team fans, the Barmy Army, and these people. They have always had a great experience here when they come to Grenada.
Well, the Barmy Army book out the hotel, so already.
Well, no, see, that's why I'm saying that is so important that it's just beyond the field of play.
Yeah.
The activities at the hotel, the tour operators, the entire hospitality sector tends to get a little nudge, in the right direction as a result of. So if you're going to just look at a benchmark, and I'm hoping for as much fans as possible. I'm urging persons to come and look at a good game.
You mentioned transistor radio, and I know there's still a demographic in Grenada that all they want to do is to just listen to cricket on their radio. Is there going to be any cricket coverage on radio?
There will be radio coverage.
And also, just in case in terms of the importance of that, the question comes down to who have rights and who don't have rights.
All that,
they jostle for advertising. So can you just help us with some of that?
All that is not part of my mind. I know for a fact there will be radio coverage. Unfortunately, we have lost the likes of the Reds Pereiras and the Tony Corsaires, but we still have the Stevenson Worms. We still have Stevenson Worms and these guys who still do a fantastic job. But there will be radio coverage, I'm sure, and they will work it out. The game is being played. There will be coverage.
Right. So folks would hear it on radio.
Folks would hear it on
radio,
radio, most definitely.
Great.
So I have a question for you. One of the challenges that we face now for getting people into this country is flights, regionally, particularly. Carl has, I think, one flight a week or two flights a week.
They put an extra one now.
Is there any discussions at that level to try and see? Because, let us assume whoever wins in Barbados and Grenada is the decider. You may have a surge of regional people wanting to come in and experience.
That's so true.
But flights
through the initiative of the Tourism Authority and the ministry here and CWI, CAL has put on a flight to move interested persons from Barbados to Grenada. Mainly none from the south as yet. And a lot, we hope that they're, based on the responses, persons you don't want to say we're putting on a flight, and then there must be a demand, and we hope that within a short period of time that we can see if that demand can be responded to. Because at one time they were even looking at consideration for having a cruise ship to dock here to move persons from Barbados, but that did not come. That did not come through.
What World Cup we did that? There was a cruise ship,
yeah. So these are things that.
Not a question, but a comment regarding prices. I understand that I can actually, if I choose to come to the cricket, I'm getting a 75% discount. This is amazing.
But you've given up your age, right?
Yes, I'm proud of that. Over 65, you get 75% off.
As we speak right now,
that's incredible.
Caribbean nationals and many persons in, well, right now Barbados and Grenada, can go online and purchase a ticket and receive about 50% off based on the seat, because there are different pricing range based on where you sit in the seating bowl. Okay? If you're directly behind the bowler's arm, or if you're square of the wicket, or if you want to be in the posse stand, you know. And what we have done is that we have made available the entire stadium. So the posse stand is open, you know, most of the Junior Murray, Royal Lewis stand, and all of the members pavilion open. So you can go and select it. And right now you can get 50% off. If you're a senior citizen, you can get as much as I think 75% off your seats right now.
Not your thing.
No, you can. You will.
Fact,
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact. It's not thinking. You know, you can get it right now. To let you know,
get in there, but I ain't get in.
you know,
It's a privilege.
and the box office. Actually, if you want to come in for yourself and don't have the means, which I'm sure few people can come in, go to the box. It opens on the 17th. And you can purchase your tickets, get the information similar to what you get online right here, and it's at the, you know, at the stadium.
So let me ask you about local sponsorship and boxes and businesses and so on. How has been your uptake on the local side?
We do not have enough boxes. We did not have enough.
So you mean you sell out all?
Well, the stadium.
Stop being modest.
No, well, I wish we had some more, but you know, the reality is that we are a limited amount of boxes.
Yes,
and when you find especially a team as England touring, you'll find that demand from the tour operators and so very, very heavy on you. And they've made their bookings. I've been trying to make and place their bookings months ago. Unlike you find local persons are now calling.
Just asking, right.
So we find ourselves, so we had that dilemma.
So all the boxes are gone.
And we had that, but we had to hold on to, because we know there were certain partners. We had to ensure the government had boxes, because we are not using the official VIP area on upper level. So that took away 2 boxes from the pool and other persons. But we have been able to work it out the best way possible. But right now, as we speak, unless there's a cancellation for some reason or another, I don't think that you'll be able to get a box just like that, no.
Jordy, after cricket activities, if I could call it that, I'm not calling it parties, you know, like...
it's important.
What is...
No.
Tell us about it.
No, but see, that is why we have been trying to tell persons. On the field of play is going to happen. What happens beyond is so much important. The visitor and between. And the visitor experience is so important. The last time we saw the images of them in River Road and all over. And that's what you know, and that's what we're telling local persons. You have to be able to position yourself to take advantage of these opportunities. The benchmark is not just coming to see the game in the stadium. It's what's going to happen on Wall Street. It's what's going to happen after 6 o'clock in the evening.
That's right.
It's what's going to happen at the restaurants. It's how, you know, the...
But are there any planned activities?
Well, there are planned things. There are planned things. For example, the Tourism Authority is doing a fan zone. They're doing a number of things and encouraging persons. I must say, this Tourism Authority has been so aggressive. They have been so proactive in terms of responding to this event and understanding the importance and using this event as a marketing tool for the country. It's unbelievable.
Okay. My last 2 questions, Brenda, to Troy, is one on, first of all, the pitch. And how the preparation of
you can look outside right. You can look outside right now.
We ain't getting a dead pitch.
You can look outside right now. Is one of the things. Is one of the things I think that I've been looking at the ground in Antigua and smiling. As we stand right now, I think that we deliver. Right now, we're about a 90-95% in our field coverage. As you look at the ground on the outside,
we're showing the ground.
The weather has been good. We have delivered what we need to deliver for the ground staff, and Mr. Holas and his team have been doing an exceptional ground. The pitch cover, the grass coverage on the pitch, as we speak right now, is 100%.
Gorgeous.
I'm speaking, and you can see it on the screen.
Like a carpet.
So we are going to prepare. There are 3 strips being prepared right now. The main strip, and there are 2 practice strips. As of today, they will start preparing the practice strips, because the teams will be on the grounds since the 21st. So we'll start, and we are very comfortable and confident where we are as we relate. So I think we can get a much better pitch, probably a livelier pitch than what we saw in Antigua. And to let you know that Ken Crafton, who is the head curator for CWI, will be on the ground from next Thursday. And once he comes in, he will compliment don't take it lightly, what these local guys are doing, what Holas and his team, those guys are doing, are fantastic. They've been doing a fantastic job. Yeah. To where we took this field from 2 months ago to where we like it to be in 7 days.
Great.
So I'm very, very comfortable and confident there.
My last question to you
has
to
fantastic.
be security, not only for the games, but security outside of the games. Because you talk about the experience and the visitors going about and drinking a carriacou somewhere and having fun. And I mean, during World Cup how that was. Grenada was rated as one of the best destinations.
We hope to ensure, that's why I keep saying the visitor experience. Yeah. From arrival at the airport or the seaport or wherever you're coming from, the visitor experience is crucial. And we have met with the RGPF and at the local body here, and also the national level, to ensure the importance of security arrangements, not just at the national stadium on the match day, but after, which is so very important. What happens after 5:30 in the evening to next morning, the activities in the southern part of the island. And you find persons are very adventurous, and they wander, and they go all different places, and we must be able to respond. I remember during Cricket World Cup, we had a situation, couldn't find two persons that were in some place in St. David's eating oil long, and these are things that you hear about because they are very
doing all strange.
Yeah, they are very, very adventurous.
You remember there were stories, and I hope people remember this because we forget quickly. There were stories of shops running out of bears and running out of
the last time the English team was here, we can show pictures of what happened right in River Road.
River Road. I remember.
And you see, and that is what it's all about. As I said, it's not just about cricket. It's going to happen.
You mentioned the posse stand. Are we going to have a party in there?
Well, the posse stand is open.
Okay.
And I know that there are discussions now in terms of what the look and feel is going to, to be. At first, we were hesitant because of the protocols and all the social distance issues, but I think that we are very comfortable now in terms of what is going to happen and what we see happening in Barbados, in Antigua. And we will respond. I think, we are very, sometimes we're very concerning, but at the end, when it comes down to delivering, we always do and we get the job done.
Sure,
this time around, we're just trying to ensure that we take it to another level. And what you will see, we have removed all the seats.
We might have to charge a GFA for that free advertisement.
We have removed all the seats. All the seats, and because there were lots of damaged and broken seats in the area, so we have removed all, and it can be used. It's a safe environment.
I'm attending, Chris.
Listen, I will be. That's Carnival Part 1.
I will be here.
That's Christmas Part 1. And if you guys are true to form about the elections in June, because you all seem to be talking to the doctor, that'll be Carnival Part 2. And then August is the real thing.
The bell moved to the Tony. That means from my point, I think you guys have done an excellent job. We want to wish you all the best. The only thing left now for us to cooperate is the weather.
Well, I think we need to take control of things that we can't take control of.
Of course.
And we leave certain things up to a higher authority.
Yes.
And as we stand right now, I'm being very honest with you, I would wish we can get some more downpours.
Let's stop on the 24th.
About the 22nd.
Between now and Saturday.
And we need some more rain because we have some final touches to do. We have to fertilize and we have to ensure that things are, are in place. And
Troy, you sounding like Mr. Holas. You know all about the ground.
Well, no. You see, once you are involved, and think from since construction, you need what it brings the whole thing to. And
that's why you are the best.
And I like to remind all persons are listening. During the South Africa tour, if you remember, during the rest day, there was a flood. The entire River Road area was flooded.
Yes.
The entire area, including this facility. And the afternoon when I spoke to the minister, and everybody was panicking, I said, I can give you the assurance, at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, the game is going
But they
to start.
forget what under the pitch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't that because we had major issues.
Yeah.
The entire broadcast facility, the production unit was flooded.
Yeah.
There was 6 inches of water on the ground, and we had to respond to
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
But these are things that we are accustomed
Yeah.
to. Once you have systems in place and you know what you're about, we can respond to it.
And that's a good thing
Kudos,
because
yeah.
you know in Grenada we always get accused of not being prepared, not handling things properly. It's good to know that we're ready for almost any event in the
Yeah.
sense
No,
of
I think
putting
we-
on this game and
You know, and I can speak from since Cricket World Cup.
Yeah,
I think
I
we
was
have
part of that as
put
well.
together the experiences then, and with the Cricket Association, who will be responsible for the game day deliverables.
Yeah.
The LOC, they have done it.
Yeah.
In terms of what is expected, what is to be done.
Let's be fair, they're one of our stronger sporting
know,
organizations.
You know,
Yeah.
and like it or not, the rest of the Caribbean might not like to hear it, but we have always stepped up to the game.
Yeah.
And things, I remember Pollard complaining bitterly about the pitch and field conditions in Barbados during the South African tour. If you saw all the articles and so. We, in Grenada, we cannot afford, we're not so lucky to get away with these things.
Yeah.
You know, so we always go out to ensure that we have the very best. And we are very hard on ourselves in terms of delivering. And that's why the pressure is always, you know, from here I'm going to walk the ground.
So we have a prime minister that is a cricketer, not a fan, a cricketer. I mean, is he playing any role in this happening yet?
Well, like it or not, once there's bat and ball,
Yeah.
he wants to know what is going on. And in short, to ensure, how can I help? What can I do?
Yeah.
And this, not just the Prime Minister,
Yeah.
our Minister of Sport, she has been fantastic on the ball.
Yeah.
The Permanent Secretary is wanting to know what is happening, what do you need, where it's coming from, what are the timelines that you need to have it by. And they have delivered on every call, every time to ensure what is happening. And
well, you know, it's a big thing for the country, and I think we
Yeah.
must not underplay this. I mean,
Yeah.
a successful cricket test match for those 4 or 5 days. Visitor experience is a positive thing, and it has long-term impact for the
Long-term
country.
impact.
Exposure.
You understand the
Yeah.
exposure, the experience.
And
that
you see-
these cricket fans speak about this thing.
Yeah.
True.
they do.
You know,
They
and
do.
the best form of advertisement is, boy, you know, my
They
experience
do.
in Grenada was fantastic.
Because
Coming back.
I
True.
drink there, I could have walked in the road with a beer in my hand, police in harassing me, you know.
Yeah.
you know, like
and
I
now
told
we have Twitter, we have Instagram.
Yeah.
you know,
That-
it's it's instant. You know, it's
Instant,
instant. And but
yeah.
it's very important for us
Bad
to.
experiences are instant too, eh?
Everything is instant.
It goes both ways.
Everything,
Both ways.
everything,
You know,
everything.
it goes both ways, and that's why we're not taking anything for granted in terms of letting persons know that you might not be coming to the game, but you have a responsibility to ensure the country looks good. You know, and whatever you can do to ensure the experience, it might be giving somebody some directions. No, you cannot walk up here, or you can get a very cool beer here, or you can do this here. That is what is important. We all have a
Yeah.
part to play, because really and truly, as I said, this is about Grenada. This is about country. This is a tourism activity that we're really trying to get it done
You know,
right.
we in this time, a silly season here now in Grenada, and there's a sort of tribalism with colors and so on. Let's hope for the games we put that aside.
Well, this,
And
like
this
I tell
is all
persons,
about, as you say, this
Hold
is
on.
all about country and Grenada.
if we choose to
Try a
do
bit, try a bit.
Yeah.
If we choose to do anything, for lack of a better word, stupid,
Yeah.
to compromise or impact negatively on country, we will all stand on the consequences.
Always.
We always do.
Always.
So if you want to look narrowly, just as what your selfish ambitions, and not look generally for the bigger picture and this beautiful country of ours, you know, you sleep with that at night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to assist you in any way, but I think it's a great opportunity for the country. It's it gives the kind of injection that we need based on the activities of the cruise season, to give that injection at this point in time to the hospitality sector that has been battered,
Yeah.
that suffered
Absolutely.
significantly during the
Absolutely.
past 2 to 3
Absolutely.
years.
We need this.
Absolutely.
You know, they need it. And when, like Chris said, the hotels are saying, we are filled.
Yeah.
This person's are
Occupancy
saying
levels,
occupancy.
when my conversation with them for this slow season is doing pretty well.
Yeah.
They're in the high 60s, some of them, and so
Yeah.
on. some in
And
the
I think by
80s.
next week they'll be up to
And
90.
this is an event that was, it just popped up, so that's great.
And they're ready. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's a good thing for the
Yeah.
industry and the workers in that sector. I mean, it's a good restaurants, entertainment. There's a lot of spill off.
There are
Bring it
lots
on,
of,
bring it
you
on.
know, the taxi drivers, the
It's a
tour
great thing.
operators,
It's a
you know,
great thing.
everybody stands, you know, there's an extra case of lager to be sold somewhere along the line, you know, and come on.
Yeah.
We can't,
You know,
we can't underplay that.
I think, and that's why I make the point. It's much more than cricket. Come and enjoy the cricket. Enjoy the guys on the field. But let us ensure that we deliver that quality, that experience
That's really wonderful.
off the field.
That's
You know,
really wonderful.
so that's what the event is all about. It's not just about bat and ball. It's
And
much
cricket-
more than
And
that.
Cricket World Cup was in 2007.
Yeah.
Here we are in 2022, and the capacity building from the Cricket World Cup has been brought to bear all along this. See, sometimes we don't see it right
Yeah,
away.
it's an
but
investment,
it's
yeah.
an investment.
Yeah, a lot of us
Because it
was
wasn't just
involved.
about the stadium.
That's right, that's right.
Built
You see,
real capacity.
Lots
People
of
like Troy
persons,
and all the people involved in the planning.
lots of persons say, oh, you can't afford. We will never be able to, barring having probably Jesus Christ or coming to give away millions of dollars just like that to fill this. This is just under about 15,000 people.
Yeah.
We cannot mobilize at that level to bring 15,000 people here to fill this place. You know, but it can serve as a conduit to serve the country well, and that's why it's so important for us to get it right, do it right,
Yeah.
deliver at the highest level.
And final cost of tickets?
Well, I know it's less than, I think 20 US.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
because
somewhere
it costs different places
Okay.
based on the
Based on the
seat that you
location,
choose, based on the stand that you're in, because the cost of a ticket in the posse stand is different to that of the Junior Murray Royal Lewis stand, the upper level or the lower level. There are a number of factors that will determine the cost of the ticket. But what's important, whatever ticket that you get right now, you're getting 50% off. And like Baron can go and enjoy his 75% as a senior citizen. I think that is so fitting and that's very important.
It's a privilege,
That's
isn't it?
good.
Point in time.
Yes, yes.
It is a privilege.
Yeah.
And you can get tickets.
I've earned it, yeah.
You know,
Yes,
and you can get tickets on wendy'scricket.com, or you can come to the box office from this Thursday and have your physical ticket in hand.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Garvey. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. The
And please
pleasure is mine.
extend our congratulations and thank you to all of the folks on the National Organizing Committee and by extension, the local organizing committee. And we look forward to the third Apex Test, West Indies versus England. The whole Barmy Army coming. What about you? Get a ticket yet? Time to get it. Thank you so much for coming. So it's going to happen from March 24th through 28th. I hope we make the whole 5 days, at least 4.
Let's enjoy the game.
Enjoy the game.
I'm sure that we will prefer to see the game finish in 3 days if the men in maroon wins. So we wouldn't like, if you understand what I'm saying. But let's just come and enjoy the game.
Right.
Let's come and enjoy the
Let's
game
enjoy the
and make
cricket.
make a cheer for Team West Indies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the cricket and all it brings.
You know, and they're
Yeah.
playing for the Richards Botham Trophy.
The-
Two of the legends of that rivalry. You know, so,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah. Ivy Richards was 70 last week.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, he was. He was. Sir Vivian
Yeah.
Richards was 70 last week. So it'll be great. I hope he comes to Grenada.
He likes coming here.
Yeah.
Good.
It does.
Who doesn't?
Best place in the world.
Yeah, it's the best place in
said
the
so.
world.
Started off that way.
Thank you so much again, Troy. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Gentlemen, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's going on this week?
Byron. I mean, I am all excited about my project. So that's
Yeah,
going
your
on.
project,
Yeah,
yeah.
the aquaponics
Yeah.
starting to show off.
But I pick peas again this weekend. It's
You're picking
amazing.
peas still?
Yes.
Wow.
Byron's telling me the weather is just perfect for that. So.
He who picked peas is rich indeed.
Yeah,
I'm sure Baron might be able to. Why it has to be always seasonal? Why we can't get peas throughout the year?
Well, most of our peas is rain fed, right?
Right.
And it's how the season changed, really. If you have water, you have peace. If you don't have water, you
So
don't have peace.
if I have the means to irrigate and
Yeah, you can have peace throughout
yeah,
the
but
year.
I think we should. Always
Yeah,
not having just wait until Christmas time and then it's kind of
So
late.
if you can control the water supply, you can have peace anytime.
Yeah,
As most crops, yeah.
Yes, most crops. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So-
we
so-
haven't breadfruit right through the year now.
Yes, you can. With
That-
the weather.
That is my thing for the week. My
Yes.
excitement.
It's a birthday coming up this week.
Not mine again. I don't. No, but March people are special people, you know, but we won't get it. We'll do that for next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Next week is your birthday? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I know you have one coming up. A special friend of ours have a birthday
Yes, that
today.
is correct.
We must say happy birthday to the one and only Mr. Colin E. Dow.
That's
Morning, Colin. Happy birthday. Yeah, I see you smiling. Yes, I see it. I see it.
March people.
Good morning, friend. Have a great, great day today. Do enjoy the birthday. Just a programming note for everyone, because of cricket next week and getting the stadium ready. If you, in case you're not aware, our studios are at the National Cricket Stadium. We come to you here live every Monday morning. And so because of cricket next week, we won't be here at the stadium. But on this Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock, there will be a special edition of Perspectives. So please tune in for that. All right? Do not miss it. And thank you so very much. Have a great day. Have a great week. Go out and enjoy the cricket. And we're waiting, the rest of you who are concerned, we'll wait to hear what happens. If you're not and you are vaccinated, get your tickets. If you're unvaccinated, listen and see if anything at all will change. Insofar as that is concerned, we have no information for you. That stays just where the bell stays as well. We don't know. But we'll find out soon if an announcement is made. Have a great day, everyone. For Senator Deali, Mr. Campbell, and Brenda Batiste, and all the producers here, our executive producer, Richie Oliver, Nazim Benjamin, streaming, our cameraman who did some yeoman service this morning, bringing you the feels, the sights, and the sounds of the cricket field, Kirk Oliver, thank you for that, and Blondell George, our director. Have a great day, everybody. Until Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock, I'm Brenda Batiste. Bye-bye.